Hi, it's Ruby Powers with Powers Law Group. It is your friendly Friday Facebook Live update of all the immigration news that we can tell you that we think is the most important to know. And what's really exciting about today, well, tomorrow, is that it is the firm's, I don't know if you can see it, 9th anniversary. We will be celebrating 9 years in business, continuing to grow and help the community with their immigration needs. Tomorrow, November 17th, 2018. So, really excited. Thank you to all our clients, friends, family, people who refer business to us, nonprofits, groups out there. We really appreciate you. Media as well, for all your work and getting news out about what's going on with immigration. So, thank you so much, and we're excited to celebrate this big milestone. So there's just a few points in news this week. Basically, I don't know if we brought it up last Friday, but it still hasn't happened, which is the president is considering letting go the Homeland Security Secretary, Cynthia Milian, and we think that could happen sometime soon. I think that Nielsen DHS has made it near impossible for people to seek asylum under a proclamation signed by Trump on Friday. People who enter the U.S., this was last Friday, between official border crossings are categorically ineligible for asylum. Of course, that is being challenged by the ACLU. Right now, we're hearing of people waiting weeks, or having to wait weeks at Tijuana, but I know it'll be at other port of entry. There'll be a long wait. So we'll continue to find out. Another change that happened that isn't really in the news is that the field office director for the Houston office, Mark Siegel, is no longer with the Houston office. There'll be some changes in the near future. I'm not sure who his replacement is, or if anybody knows yet. And we did get some other updates in the immigration court that for the Houston area, but we'll update you probably next week once I think it becomes more official. But there are some changes with a couple of local judges moving to Conroe, and one will be moving to Florida, I think this week. So another news, migrants from Central America and groups have reached the U.S. this weekend. Like I mentioned, there's people waiting in line to enter at the port of entry after Friday's executive order, which is being challenged. The port of entry between Tijuana and San Diego is already at capacity, meaning that these migrants will likely have to wait in Mexico for a long time, even if they do make a claim. So it's likely to have overcrowding at port of entry. This is really, everyone has a different opinion about it, but we're also going into a time where it gets colder. There's holidays, there's children. So we know that there was a caravan of faith workers who went to, or a pilgrimage, I believe they called it, of people in the United States, rabbis and ministers and groups, went to Tornillo, I believe it was like yesterday and the day before, and trying to bring light to what's going on in Tornillo, which is where they're detaining a lot of children. But I think the other thing is that as a community, if we want to help somehow, we need to think of ways we can maybe send some type of resources to people who are waiting in line, as food and resources and clothing is needed to stay and wait to have a chance at applying for asylum. So I'll be continuing to find out which groups that we could help donate to or send resources to, because I think this is just sort of a moving issue, and literally physically moving and emotionally moving, but and I'm not really sure who's helping at this moment. And the president's nominee to lead ICE won't rule out separating migrant families. Our Washington Post, Ronald Vitiello, officially tapped by the president to run U.S. ICE, faced criticism, refusing to rule out the possibility by the administration to resort again to separating migrant families and children. The White House is discussing plans to detain asylum-seeking families for up to 20 days and then give up parents a choice: stay in jail with your child pending a deportation hearing, or allow children to be taken to government shelters so other relatives and guardians can seek out custody. The policy split more than, we're talking about the zero tolerance policy, how it split more than 2,500 children. So the president has ordered U.S. immigration officials to keep families together, but he said that detaining them all or giving them the option to split could deter rising numbers of families. You know, I think this, historically the numbers will show that there hasn't been a rise in more people coming. It's just that there's been the hype, which is why I don't even like to use the word caravan, because a lot of people have said that the word has been used less in the media and the news by certain groups after the election. And I think it was more a marketing ploy to have some political sway in the recent election. There's a group of people wanting to have the opportunity to seek asylum, and not everyone gets asylum. And honestly, the numbers are very difficult to apply to get approved for asylum. We know because we do a lot of asylum, and if a person doesn't have an attorney, it's even way worse approval rates. So there's really not a lot to be fearful, because even the chance of due process is very difficult to even have a chance to apply. And then in the last piece of news is that our client Luz, who was in the news a few weeks ago, her newsletter her interview with NPR was published with All Things Considered yesterday. So you might be hearing it last night and today with John Burnett. Ari Shapiro and John Burnett were in the interview, including myself and our client Luz. It's called Finally Reunited with Her Child. Finally Reunited with Her Child, Migrant Mother Has a Warning for Caravan. So that was with NPR, and you can hear that. We'll be posting that on our social media. So just in conclusion, it's a short one today, and we're going to have Spanish a little bit later on today with Cynthia. It is our 9-year anniversary mañana. We will be closed on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, November 22nd, Thursday, November 22nd, but we will be open with limited staff on November 23rd. So you keep calling, keep scheduling. We have 4 attorneys that can do consultations in multiple languages and all different types of full service immigration. So you can give us a call, and I forgot to mention 713-589-2085. And New Jersey, our number is 201-210-8240. We are going to be open for consultations Saturday, December 1st, so that, all those who might not have had a chance during the Thanksgiving holiday, I'll be in the office December 1st. And also, just to sum up a couple speeches we have in the community, Michelle will be speaking to a group on the morning of December 4th. I will be speaking at the Joe Vale Asylum Workshop on Asylum on December 17th, which is a Monday, at U of H, University of Houston Law School, and also be speaking at the Texas Bar Advanced Immigration Conference on advanced naturalization citizenship issues on January 31st. If you have any questions, like always, you can email them at contact@rubypowerslaw.com. You can put them in our little Facebook comment section. You can call and ask. We like to be able to answer questions to anybody who has them, and help be a resource. We have been giving a lot of news and just updates, but if you have any questions, that we can help generalize and tell everybody over this medium, then let us know. And I think that's it. So we do have a question. What's the question?
Someone's been waiting for an interview date for 5 months. Oh. Any idea how much longer it would take?
What type of case? Okay, so things that matter are what type of case is it. So for example, naturalization in Houston is taking 16 months. Adjustment of status in Houston is taking 22 to maybe 26 months. You can look on the processing time on the USCIS.gov website. They're sort of accurate, but if you give me more specifics, I can try to answer that. You can also give us a call, because it could be different things from, like, I don't know, you want to check to make sure that you got the receipt. You check that receipt on the processing time, the case status on the USCIS.gov website. I've seen a lot of consults this week where people filed on their own and things got lost. They didn't receive the request for evidence. They didn't receive something and they got denials, or there was they never got the card in the mail after it was approved. So I would say, like, if you're concerned, you can always come in for a consult, bring in the receipts, bring in what you filed if you didn't have an attorney, and we can double check with our ways and see if we think it's like everything is okay, you're just waiting, or if it's something that you might need to get somebody to help do some advocacy for. But we're really experienced with lots of different ways to do advocacy. Well, thank you so much. I know it's a beautiful day here in the Houston area and other areas we have a little cold and snow, and we're thinking about people in California with the fires, and just everyone stay warm during this colder time around Texas and the U.S. They're adjusting to the weather, but we hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We very likely won't have Facebook Live next Friday unless I do one from my family's dinner table or something. But we just hope that you remember all the things that you're thankful for and have with your friends and family, and remember this time and just appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great weekend. This is Ruby with Powers Law Group.